GM. What is happening, everybody? It's Mother Chuckin' Friday. You know what that means? In my house, it's pizza night. We're going to get pizza. Pepperoni pizza. That's what we do with the Caesar salad on a Friday night. I don't know about you. I don't know what your family does. But again, we are pepperoni pizza and a Caesar salad Friday night kind of family. Probably last night was a rough one in our house. Our daughter was up all night. Yesterday was like a 22-hour day for me. I was up at 6 a.m. and then I was up till 4 a.m. doing Twitter spaces, working, doing all sorts of shit. And so we're going on fumes today, but this is how we do it, man. This is Web3. This is the life. And that's, we got time to sleep in 2024 when the Bulls come back to town. So this is what everybody should be doing. You burn the candle at both ends. You get yourself in the right position for the next cycle, baby. What is going on? We got Kenton, Colt, Corey. Oh, I got one of my fat rat homies in the crowd. Bought a new fat rat last night. If you guys are not familiar, Fat Rat Mafia. Let's see. I can pull this up right here. Let's go. Let's hit that news shot. If you are watching, we do live stream these Twitter spaces also to Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. So we are multi-platform. Got to get that message out there. You never know. Let's see. We got You Like It a Juice over on YouTube. GMGM to you. What do you guys think? GMGM. I put a tweet out the other day. GMGM is it's more of like it's not just a greeting, right? Like it's a state of mind. GMGM is a little bit more than just saying good morning to somebody, in my opinion. Right now, I think maybe it's to each their own as far as that goes. And we can talk about that in a little bit. Today, I want to talk about NFTs. Are they a joke or the future of digital asset ownership? Anybody that is listening out in the crowd, if you do want to come up on stage on Twitter Space, make sure that you just raise your hand. You are more than welcome to at any point. Also, I did tweet out the StreamYard link. So if you want to come up on camera today, all you got to do is click that link. I will see you backstage, and then boom, not only are you a part of the conversation, but you'll have to also go probably up on stage on the Twitter space too. But you can be, definitely a part of the show today. So that is always open to anybody that is interested in doing it. We'll be more consistent in getting that link out there. But all you got to do is say, "Hey, dude, let me get on camera," and I will let you do that. But let's see. I wanted to before we got into that, there was something. Turbo, here we go. GM, sir. So I got myself a new fat rat. Let's did a little degen last night. Again, my daughter couldn't sleep, and so we were up late. I was up late. I was up till 4 a.m. And so I got in on the fruits. Probably got too many of them. But it is what it is. They're hopefully going to go up a little bit, down a little bit from where I got in last night, but that's all right. I think I just got like 9 of them, just a couple of these little dudes, see what happens. They were dirt cheap. They were like $5 a piece. I mean, even if they, it's like $75 that I spent. I'm not really worried about that. But we'll see what goes on. But playing into that. So think about that kind of stuff. And I don't know what's going on here. My OpenSea is not loading. So think about this, like the collections that are spun up, and then you got this Mutant Ape Planet. This guy got arrested in New York. I think it was yesterday, right? Wednesday at a New York airport. They defrauded his victims out of almost $3 million worth of crypto. Aurelian Michael, 24, who lived in the United Arab Emirates, falsely promised buyers of the NFT's exclusive rewards and benefits that he claimed were designed to increase demand for the unique images and boost their value. The quote from who is this? Michael Peace, Brian Peace, Brooklyn. He's the U.S. attorney, saying after sending their crypto to obtaining the NFT, purchasers received nothing, while their crypto was diverted from the Mutant Ape Planet NFT project to cryptocurrency wallets controlled by Michael. He says, hey, good, got him off the street, got him off the out of the ecosystem, got him off the scene. There has to be more and more of this. I'm sure that there will be as time goes on. Man, what is going on with OpenSea? Broken Sea, am I right? There we go. That's not what I wanted to do. Chains.eth. That is one of my Ethereum addresses. That's my show name, JChange. But here we go. Here's the fat rat that I got yesterday. Love this guy. I've been looking for a cheese shirt. I got the teal cheese shirt. I know that there's a gray, a black, a pink, maybe some other colors. But look at this dude. Is so freaking cool. We got a thing in our family. We're the Shades family. We're always wearing sunglasses. We wear sunglasses in pictures. My father-in-law doesn't like that. But that's what we do. We're the Shades family. So I get a lot of NFTs that have shades on them. But it is, and then let's look at some of those. Here we go. Those fruits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Interesting. Anyway, so guys, really quick while we wait for more people to pop on in here. Again, GM. It is Friday morning. It is 5 after 10 here on the East Coast of the United States of America. I woke up late this morning. I don't ever set an alarms. My body has like the most amazing internal clock. But after a long day yesterday, no joke, it is 10:06. I woke up at 9:30 this morning. I immediately panicked, freaked out, hopped in the shower, brushed my teeth, ran downstairs, set up the studio, and here we go. I'm with you guys. So again, GM, everybody, Kenton, everybody that's popped in, thank you for doing so. If you do want to pop up, please go ahead. All right. For the folks watching on the replay. We've got the YouTube channel. It is at JChains. You can watch at jchains.live. And then over on the Twitter sphere, let's refresh this so we can get this up here. But I want to talk about NFTs today, guys. Like, are they a joke? You get things like, these collections that they're blatant ripoffs of, like the Bored Apes and the Mutant Apes, or, so you've got all that derivatives, and then you've got scammers and all that stuff. And I know that there'll be bad actors everywhere we go. Everywhere you go, it doesn't matter what industry, it doesn't matter what kind of technology, it doesn't matter. People will find a way to manipulate and exploit. But does that mean that the entire ecosystem is a joke? You hear it all the time. NFTs are a scam. NFTs, this whole ecosystem is bullshit. It's a Ponzi scheme. I firmly believe, and I definitely would think that several other people would probably feel the same opinion, that NFTs where we are right now, while it's nothing special, what it's building is very special. The sense of community. We've got this, this ability to connect with people on a different level that we've never seen before. With places like Twitter Space or Discord, or all these outlets where people can go in our communities and be together and think, grow, develop, strategize, all that kind of stuff, collaborate. It's just a fascinating ecosystem to participate in. And with like I said, PFPs, maybe it is just the beta test, right? And that's what I believe that it is, that it's this is just the beta test of where we're going. The whole idea of digital ownership and digital assets, that's a massive opportunity. And you got to think, like, these PFPs and these little pictures that we play with and have fun with, it is literally just the tip of the iceberg. Maybe even it's a smaller portion of where it's going from that. Anything that requires any kind of ownership, any kind of custody, that can be transferred into digital, whether it's the deed to a house, your marriage certificate, your health records, all sorts of things. I mean, the sky's the freaking limit when it comes to where NFTs are going. But I see a couple more people popped in. If you guys want to hop up and join the conversation, please feel free to do so. Just request to speak, and that's what we'll do. Kenton GM, I know you're always good for a good conversation. You've got some amazing perspectives, so if you come up, I'd appreciate that. If not, it's okay. You guys can just sit here and listen to me ramble. I'm okay with that. Not what I prefer, but it is what it is. Let's look at some other things over on nftgo.io, because we made a thing yesterday, had a little short video that came out. We were talking about the market's been heating up. Several weeks, 3 weeks ago, this score was at a 10. Yesterday it was at a 30. Today it's at 31. Well, and I said in the video, like, it might still say cool, but I promise you things are heating up. The Mutant Ape Yacht Club went from what were they, like 15 ETH up to like 19 something. Like, things are moving. Bored Apes, I think, are up to like over $100,000 equivalent to the ETH value right now. I mean, things are moving, things are cooking. Now, is this the big run? Are we coming back full steam? I don't know. I don't want to even pretend that I have that answer. I'd love to get someone else's perspective on that, because here's the deal: is that if we think and if we believe that the 4-year halving cycle is still intact, that this FTX thing and Luna and all the Celsius and all the other issues that we've seen over the last several months didn't change the course of the trajectory of the cycle, then we've got a year. You've got a year before you really see the markets turbocharge in a massive way. And so while we've gone from a 10 to a 31 as far as the market sentiment goes on this website, I do feel like, and I would think that a lot of people feel the same way, is that the vibe is back, right? It's not as hard. I feel like it's not as hard to stomach some of the things that are happening in the situation. Now, maybe we're all just battle tested. Maybe, I feel like over the course of, since 2017 that I've been in this industry, I'm kind of more jaded on some things. Like, not that I'm a conspiracy theorist, and it's not like that, but, I feel like there are more things that, with all the scams and all the things that have happened in our industry, I've just become a little bit more jaded to that fact. But, I don't want to put the all not the eggs in the basket, or the cart before the horse or anything, but with the markets going from a 10 to a 31 on this one particular barometer that I like to look at, that's a good sign that at least we're heading in the right direction. If you look at this little chart down below that, the blue chip index, I mean, this thing's gone on a curve up. So I do like where things are going, but you got to remember, markets are cycles. They go up, they go down. So while this might not be like the beginning to the next bull run, this might just be everybody's taste to a little bit more excitement. Because I think that's one of the things that has been missing for the last couple months for a lot of people. And I was in a space last night, and we were talking about how the turn of the new year has really like uh, put people in a different perspective and a mindset. Like me mentally, same thing. Like towards November, December, some massive changes happened in my life, and I was starting to feel the effect of that. But I took a week off around the holiday between Christmas and New Year, and I'll tell you what, that was probably the best thing that I could have done for myself. And probably the community too, because I don't want to be here and start sounding like a mope. The moment I start sounding like a mope, you guys better let me know, because we got to end Mopesville. What's up, Crusader?
What's going on, boys? How's it going?
Oh, it's a beautiful Friday morning here. Just had literally my first sip of coffee today. You popped in after I had told that story, but I woke up at 9:30 this morning. My daughter was like up all night, and so I didn't get any sleep yesterday. Plus, I was up late, in Twitter Spaces and stuff anyway. But literally, the moment that you said hi, I got my first sip of coffee, and it was glorious.
Dude, nice. My daughter keeps me up all the time as well, dude. I'm exhausted every morning.
I just got to figure this out. She's really good at like sleeping, and then she just goes through these phases where it is just every hour up, and it is what it is. So
Yeah, man.
we were
It is
singing
what it is.
the wheels on the bus literally can get her to stop crying right now, and so I've got like all different, and I've so many verses to that song that I've made up that they make me laugh, because like she's only 1.5. She doesn't really understand what I'm saying, so I can just say stupid things, and it makes me laugh about the situation and makes her not cry. Anyway, all right, we're talking about NFTs. I want to read something, because this is what I put as the video description for today. And I will tell you, let's see, we got to go to the lives here. Hopefully it does. Yes, it did. All right. So I probably could have found this a better way. But I used AI. I found the title that I wanted to talk about. Jeez, all sorts of shit's happening. My phone's ringing, the video's playing. Sorry, it's a Friday morning. So I use, and Crusader, let's talk about this just a little bit, and maybe how AI is going to change NFTs. We can talk a little bit about that, because I know you're using a lot of AI. I want to talk to you about one thing that you're doing too. But one of the things as a YouTuber, one of the hardest things, and listen, people say like, you're a content creator, it's not that hard. I will promise you, it is a lot harder than you think. One of the hardest and most challenging things is a title and a description. 100%. And it usually takes so long, and you have to be, you have to put the right words in, and you have to be thinking about what you're going to say. Well, here's the deal. Like, the story about the guy who got arrested for the NFTs, and just all, the combination of yesterday's day got me to think. The title last night was, what a great title tomorrow's show should be: Are NFTs a joke, or is this the future of digital asset ownership? And I obviously, what my words were a little differently, but AI spit that out, which I thought that was really nice. But the description that it put together, I thought was very, very well done. And like, so AI is changing my life 100% as a content creator, and I wonder how it's going to. And AI art is, it is what it is. Like, if it's not your thing, it's not your thing. And if you're a traditional artist and you don't like it, that's cool. Like, just consider it some kind of friendly competition in your space. But I tell you what, it changed. Like, it's going to change the game for a lot of industries. But Crusader, I want you to explain a little bit, if you don't mind. We were on a call yesterday, and you were telling me that you were able to automate some of the process that you use, which frees you up to do other things, like maybe create more art for the secret society.
Dude, 100%. So like you were saying, right, being a creator, one of the hardest things is having time to create all these different pieces of content, giving a good SEO approved title and description to make your videos rank and all this stuff. And most of us have 9-to-5 jobs, and this is just like a side thing that we do, so it's very difficult to be able to do all these things at once. So ChatGPT came out. There's a lot of videos flying around everywhere. And basically, I've been able to use ChatGPT along with another tool called Zapier to fully automate my Twitter process. So it creates fully automated Twitter posts with images and everything. Obviously, the images are provided by me. I put them in a special folder. It goes and snatches it up and then combines it with the tweet, throws the hashtags on it, and boom, makes it a post every couple of hours or however long I want. And that's been super beneficial for me because I can't be tweeting all the time.
Yeah. Well, what do you say to the people that like, I was telling my wife about this. She goes, "That's cheating." I said, "That's not cheating. That's not cheating at all." Like, what do you like? What do you think about it?
It's not cheating. It's a hack. It's a hack, right? It's a hack of life. And I think
I wouldn't even call it a hack, to be honest with you, man. I would call it an efficiency, right? Like not inefficiency, an efficiency, because again, if you don't have to all right. Last night I did the same thing. After our conversation, I didn't do the automated because I don't know how to set it up through the Zapier, and now I want to talk to you about that. But I literally had it spit out like 30 positive messages, and I got some call to actions to go to the website, to come to the space, all sorts of things, right? And so I put them into an Excel file, and then I literally just went in, because you can schedule tweets on Twitter on the desktop, and I just went in there and I spent maybe a half an hour, and I loaded up the rest of the month for like a morning motivational, like 6 a.m. tweet. That's not something I have to think about at this particular moment, but there still will be value because, I can engage anybody. Like, when those posts come out, I can engage with those people. And like, it frees me up to just like engage and not have to, at this particular moment, think about building the tweet structure for the day, which saves a shitload of time.
Dude, it saves so much time. And I think that's the most important thing that people need to focus on is when you're trying to run a business, when you're trying to do content creation, all of it is pretty much running your own business, and you need to be time efficient. And whatever can save you time, because time is the most valuable asset that we all have.
Absolutely.
If you can use a tool that will save you time, that can spit out a title that's exactly what you need in a matter of a minute or less, and all you gotta do is type in a few keywords to make it do that, dude, use it. Why would you sit there? Keeper and I have sat down when we've done our YouTube journey. There's been days we've sat down for 30 minutes trying to come up with a catchy title for a YouTube video, and then what are we going to put on this thumbnail? What are we going to put in the description of this? And it's literally 30 minutes of just that, when we could have been using those 30 minutes for more research on the articles or anything else that we were doing. That's a lot of time consumption that's taken up on something as simple as a title, even though it's really important. So these tools, I think, are a very, very vital thing that people are going to have to be using for their businesses and content creation.
100%. And some people say, because you're hearing like stories where students at like colleges are using them to write papers, and I get that, and that's kind of shiesty. But there'll always be people that do things that they shouldn't be using it for. Excuse me. But the point of all this is for our life in particular as creators, now the social media aspect, because I was saying, like, man, if I literally spend maybe 2 hours a week setting up the entire month, I don't need to hire a social media coordinator. Like that's less money than I need to spend on a position where I can put that now to where it'll be best suited, like, oh, maybe a video editor, or maybe someone that can go out and start doing some marketing and sales or whatever. Like it makes me a better businessman. Or now, like, because I'm in this ecosystem, and let's bring this back full circle to what we're talking about, NFTs. Now this gives me the opportunity to start working on the collection that I want to build, that starts building, like, so that as my community grows and we can start to develop as a community what we want this thing to look like and shape, and how it would function, it frees me up to do that. So maybe now I can spend, I don't have to worry about being on a Twitter space for 2 hours, when I'm usually, it's like, I got to get off in an hour because I've got so much shit to go do after that. Now it's like, well, half of my day is done now. Well, not really, but a big portion of it, because like what you had said with you and Keeper, Brian and I, when we were doing Meta Money, and I'll tell you what, you said a half an hour. There were days where it would take us a couple hours to figure out, all right, well, we know what we want the video to be about, but how do we get a good enough title? What are we going to do for the description? And then, for the thumbnail, like, what are we even going to put on the thumbnail? Well, now this chat AI, like, you could tell it, like, like, I'm like, my YouTube channel is doing a video on this. Can you write me a description, a SEO heavy description? And then can you tell me, like, maybe some things that you would, like design elements that you would want to do on the thumbnail? And it's just amazing.
Dude, 100%, man. It's just so efficient to use. I mean, I just can't, like, if it doesn't exist, right, then you just have to suck it up and do it. And, people, what do businesses do? They hire somebody else to, free up time from themselves so that they can be able to take those tasks that take up a lot of time. This, like you were saying, saves you a bunch of money by being able to say, hey, I'm going to sit down Sunday night and I'm going to make content, Twitter post for the whole next week. And you just sit down and spend an hour with ChatGPT or any other AI tool, making text, images, all kinds of stuff, putting it all together, put it into an automated system that's going to be automated, that's going to be auto posting for you at certain time intervals throughout the entire week. And there you go. You spent an hour, maybe two, on one day, and you had a whole week's worth of content posted. How much money and time that just saved you?
A lot. So much. Again, it potentially could save you the ability to have to hire someone, like
Exactly.
So I mean, that's something that I think that, is a massive game changer for, what's going on here. But anyway, let's talk. Like, I guess we could talk about AI if you want. We're planning on talking about NFTs, but I'm down to talk about absolutely anything today, because it is Friday. Anything goes, man. We can have fun. It can just be a fun and funky Friday. Chris D, I just popped in. Good morning, sir. GMGM. Woke up before 8 for the first time in weeks. I'll pop that up there on the old YouTube ski. Again, we do stream to Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube, as well as run the Twitter space at the same time. So if you are watching, thank you for watching. I see you. And if you want to be on camera, I did tweet out a link earlier this morning to StreamYard. So if that is something you are interested in doing, come on up. Join the space. Join the conversation.
Yeah, man, I want to talk about, not just the AI thing, but when it comes to NFTs, there's a project out there called Alethea, I believe it's called. I don't forget how it's pronounced. And they're basically bringing artificial intelligence into your NFTs, and you can actually have a conversation with your own NFT and make it smart enough where then now your NFT has come to life and is literally an artificial intelligence.
That's crazy. Can you talk
Yeah,
more?
yeah, super crazy.
So like that, like, so I've not heard anything about that. The only kind of like AI incorporated thing that I've heard are some of there's a metaverse that's being built, and your avatar is it is like an AI driven thing. So as you play and as you participate and as you do stuff in the ecosystem there, like, it learns who you are. And literally this is where it gets crazy. When you die in the real world, you don't die in that metaverse. The AI takes over and it has learned you. It knows stuff about you and decisions, your decision making process and all that stuff, and kind of how you carry yourself, and then it just carries on. That's fucked up.
Oh wow, dude, that's crazy. So like, you literally, it's not like, oh, this game has become now depopulated because people jumped off the game. Your AI just continues on as you. Give me a second, I'll be right back.
Yeah. which is absolutely kind of a nutty concept. But think about how cool that is for for people that maybe lost a loved one, and then now knowing that it's not their consciousness, but it is kind of their thought process maybe, and you hop into the metaverse, and now you can have a conversation with somebody that is no longer here. Very, very cool. Very godlike, right? You kind of get to play God, and talk to somebody that is actually not here, even though you're not actually talking to them. I don't know. Would love to hear some other people's perspective on that kind of stuff, because that to me it's a it's a really cool concept, but it is one of those things where it could give you the chills, and who knows, what it does psychologically, long term. If say you got let's use this example. Say you're high school sweethearts, and your boyfriend, he had his character in the metaverse, whatever. He gets into a car accident, and now like you can go hang out with him, and then what do you do? Do you just like keep checking in with him for the rest of your life? Do you? I don't know. That was kind of that was.
I mean, you can. You definitely can. I mean, I forgot where I heard about this a long time ago already. The Kim Kardashians basically had. Sorry about that. My car was beeping. Basically had their real father put into a hologram. So like somebody got a bunch of content, a bunch of old videos of him, and put it into this artificial intelligence that was able to generate him in the hologram form, speaking, like having a regular conversation with the Kardashians, like like hey, like just talking to him. It wasn't a pre-recorded message. It was literally talking like him, because I had picked up enough content of how he used to speak, what kind of words he would use, his voice. It was able to generate his voice and everything.
That's crazy. That's crazy. And then, all right, so you take that, a few years down the road, that could become an NFT unto itself, right?
For sure, exactly right. That's exactly what this Alethea AI company is doing. They're making new work with your NFT to make it smarter and smarter, continuously upgrade it to the point where it then just holds a full conversation with you.
So does it go into an NFT? So maybe that would be a little bit more of a conceptual thing that I would have to figure out is, where does that go? What is it? It doesn't just sit in like your MetaMask, does it?
Yeah, so basically it's an NFT. It's called like something. It's Alethea something, and then you basically buy these like intellectual pods for it. So like you have a Bored Ape, right? They've partnered up with a few like blue chip NFT projects, and then you get your Bored Ape. You attach it with this pod intelligence NFT. You go into their website, right, where everything is. They can access your wallet and commingle everything, and then you just start talking to it through chat, just like Chat GPT, right? And then it starts gathering intelligence and understanding what you're saying to it and speaking, and it starts giving you responses. And you basically begin to train it and level it up, and the pods level up to different, skills of intelligence, and then it just becomes this thing where it literally speaks back and forth with you. You can use it right now if you Google Alethea AI. They have like not your NFT, but they'll have like other NFTs that they're using as examples.
Mm-hmm.
Speak.
That's great. Yeah. So I looked it up. Alethea.ai. Alethea AI welcomes you to Noah's Ark. Are you ready to battle an intelligent NFT? Very cool. Yeah. So it's like this little. If you are watching on the tube, or if you're watching on the video delivery platform of your choice, you can see this website right here. Very interesting, man. It's like a almost like a teleport tube with a Bored Ape that's in it, that is kind of just floating and looking around, sticking his tongue out, opening his mouth, all doing all sorts of crazy stuff. Very interesting. I definitely going to check that one out.
Yeah, they've been around for a while. They've been around since like 2021 or 2020, around there, give or take.
That is cool. I got to check that out. Chris, just so you know, I just threw it in Telegram, and that's where it is. It's in the When Media Telegram. The link to StreamYard. I just put it in there. It was the easiest place to pop it in there for you. Chris may pop up on camera. We'll see. Yeah, dude, I definitely want to like check that out and look at that. So that'd be really interesting. Now, can you, like, you could test it out with other NFTs, but then could I put like my mutant in there and then have that go into the like this whole idea, the concept?
I don't know what their limitations are on like what you can and cannot do fully. I know you have to like own a bunch of their NFTs that unlock all the different abilities. I've never used it to that extent. I've always just used like their example. I know somebody that works for them, and we met on TikTok.
You cut out,
and he's like super into the AI stuff.
you cut out when you said you know a guy there.
Oh yeah, I know a guy that I met on TikTok. That he works for them, and he's like super into all the AI stuff, and that's how we.
I think we're
heard about this project.
I think we're losing you, Crusader. I think you're losing your signal a little bit. Well, we can try to pop back in a few minutes. I kept making cricket noises. Oh, we've got a robot in the house. What's up, Chris? Oh, I need to mute you on
dude, this is very weird. I'm listening on Twitter in my ear.
Here, I will mute your mic here. Does that fix it? No. There we go.
I don't know. But now I feel silly because I've got this silly helmet on. Hold on.
Well, sometimes when you wake up early in the morning on a Friday, you got to put on your battle helmet. You never know. You never know what the day's going to bring. And so you just wake up and put on the battle helmet expecting the worst. And hopefully you get the best.
Yeah, I had live streaming shame. I was like, why don't I wake up early enough to live stream with Jay Chains? I felt shameful. This morning, damn it. I woke up and I'm doing it right.
Hey, cheers, sir.
Cheers, sir.
If you guys are just listening on the Twitter space, we both just drank a sip of coffee at the same time. See, now that's one of the joys of watching on the video. Like, you wouldn't have needed me to explain that. So I'm moving forward, guys. If you always want to watch the video, it's jchains.live over on YouTube. Very easy to find. I tried to make it as easy as possible for you to figure out how to find these live streams. Oh, Carmen just popped in. What's up, GM Carmen? How are you? Man, oh man, the team's assembling. Now we just need Fully.
Ooh, then it'll get weird.
Oh man. So what do you got going on a Friday, man? Are you doing any NFT shopping? You doing some content building? What are you doing today?
Man, today I honestly have an interview with a couple different people, but I want to just make a ton of content. Like, I really want to batch record a bunch of stuff. I've been doing a daily video tip for people that are trying to do video content. Very practical, just bottom of the barrel, not difficult stuff. How to talk to your phone, little things like that. And I was telling my wife about it last night. I've done about a week so far, these little posts. And I was like, my consistency with content creation always ends up battling like my family balance, right? All of a sudden it becomes, I have to do it. And then the family's like, but why? And I'm like, because consistency. And then they're like, yeah, but like, we don't care. We want you to pay attention to our thing and do our thing. Like, why are you valuing work over us? Every time it becomes a battle. So I told her, I was like, I really want to do this. And she's like, it sounds like it's something that is going to have to be like scheduled in a way that you're showing that you're serious about it by how you schedule it. And I was like, okay, that actually hits. Like, if I care, I will batch create. I will do things ahead of time. I can post tweets and schedule them out and things like that. So I kind of let that sink in and being like, no, babe, I got to do it every day.
Well, so we were talking about that before you popped in. I was talking about that with Crusader. I have started to fully integrate AI into what I'm doing as far as, putting posts together, whether it's, even just so I've got the rest of the month lined up, and I've got an alarm that'll trigger on the last Monday of January to set up, now it's the last Monday of every month. I get an alert on my alarm. It says, all right, set up next month's tweets. And so I'm doing it like a 6 a.m. motivational tweet. I'm going to do a couple call to actions throughout the day. And then, that frees me up to never have to think about those things. So I can put that time and effort somewhere else. And maybe that is my family, because much like you, sometimes I'm at my desk for 15 hours a day. And so if I don't get a chance to see my daughter, throughout that, then I miss it. So if I can free up some time using these AI tools, come on, dude, that's the win right there.
Yeah. I've used Chat GPT to do like little stuff with like my bio. I talked a whole bunch about myself and then said, okay, write my bio. And it was very self-serving. As far as, like, it sounded like I was quite full of myself. But either way,
But that's what those things need to be. And one of the hardest things that you can do is write a bio, because you don't want, most of the time, I'm a very humble man, and I don't want, I feel like if I put I'm an expert or whatever, I think I'm bragging. I got to find a different word to use that's maybe not so boisterous or whatever. But I think that it's a fantastic tool for even stuff like that, where as a humble person, you get an opportunity to shine.
I could use some humility. I'm full of myself. So I'm like, how do I do this in a way that this thing doesn't show that? So that I was like, wow. It was like looking into a mirror. I was like, is that how I sound? Okay. So it was nice to get to talk to somebody and not, like it to be a robot assistant and them not like raise an eyebrow as you're like talking yourself up. So there's a completely different side of it for me where I was just like, okay, this is actually going to work out well. And here you're self worded differently. That's amazing for content, because you might be able to say something that you're like, oh, I like that. Like, I like the sound of my own thought spun up a little bit differently.
Mhm.
And like you were saying earlier, it's that would be somebody that you'd have to pay to do that for you
Right.
up until now. And as a content creator, like most people are bootstrapping everything. You're already stretched thin. Almost all content creators that I know, at least to some degree, the point at which they find success, there is no balance. Balance is this funny, ideal that doesn't exist in their world, because they're going to work all day at their 9 to 5. Then they come home, then they work and they plan, and like there's such tight little windows for everything. So then hiring people and managing and all that inside of that tiny little framework, like it just doesn't work. It's too much. So
Yeah.
um,
Well, and not only that, I mean, especially for, all right, here we go. I have to do this because it's Friday, really quick. So just really quick, sorry, I'm going to switch something. Say that last point again, and then.
I said, God, I need some pizza. Dude, I just had this conversation too last night. I eat a very weird diet where one day a week I eat absolute trash all day long.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna change that day to Friday next week because my kids are
Friday,
out of school
pizza
still.
day.
It's gonna be pizza day next Friday. Let's go.
Anyway, all right, I had to do that. What were you just saying a second ago? Sorry.
Just talking about content creators. A lot of times they have a 9 to 5. They have a very booked schedule. They don't have any little window of time, and they certainly don't have the budget or the bandwidth
Yeah.
to bring on new help.
Well,
It's doing everything.
and especially if you're working in the crypto or the Web3 industry, because our markets are so volatile. Sometimes sponsorships dry up, it could evaporate overnight. And now you're like,
Sometimes you gotta work at Pizza Hut. I
yeah,
mean,
you're slanging pizza, but then you're still on the what you got to fire your whole team or whatever. And so this is just one of those things where you're like, all right, well, I don't need a social media manager now, and maybe I don't need a content manager. Maybe I can try to shape what I'm doing using these AI tools, and now I can spend more time, or at least spend my money, my resources on the things that I really need, like an editor.
yeah, editors. That's the hack. Dude, I'm so tired still. My body's like, "Nuh-uh,
Now,
not ready. You shouldn't be on camera," but that's okay. I'm not worried about that.
but it's gonna be a good day, man. I know we got a couple meetings today. Maybe we're gonna do a bunch of content, so definitely excited about that. Now, do you got a Bulls and Apes at home?
Mhm.
Yesterday was the mint. It was the
Right.
secondary mint. Did you do any? Because you did a lot of content for them originally.
Mhm.
Did you do anything leading up to the second mint?
So I was very nervous last night, full transparency. Last night I was basically in the dark about most of it. I've very much backed away to be taking all the lessons that I learned from my I had like 6 months heavy with Bulls and Apes,
Mhm.
where, one of the first things that they actually the first thing they approached me with was, "Let's go to lunch, let's have a conversation, let's talk about a exclusivity and a year-long contract and all that," and I basically said no to both. I was like, "I can't do exclusive, and I can't do a year contract. That's not gonna work with me, like, being any sort of a builder in the space." So fast forward 6 months, I had given them, like, 40, 50-hour, 60-hour weeks for 6 months. I was like, "Okay, I need to be working on building my brand and building, my own." I don't work for people, like, ever, so that felt very, alien to me, and, but what we had done there was, like, we marketed really heavy. We had this, like, 2-month ramp to get up to mint. So April and May was just push, 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 and like planning and all this stuff. Lots of content. Everything I asked them to do, they did it. It was amazing. They showed up, and as newcomers, they came in and minted out at the beginning of a bear market, but they minted out 10K. Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
And it wasn't cheap.
It was like
Um,
0.25, right?
yeah. Well, so it was
0.22?
0.17 for whitelist and then 0.22 for public.
That's right.
But this round, none of it. None of that. And I've been so busy building my stuff that, like, the videos that I've been planning for them, it's hard. It's really hard to get them away because 'cause they're so busy building on what they're doing in the background.
Mhm.
But what that does not include is, like, a public-facing marketing, like, window into that. So, they're just busy bees in there buzzing away, and even me, I'm on the outside being like, I hear all this buzzing, and I don't know what's happening there."
You
'Cause
making any
I'm
honey? What's going on in there?
yeah, like, I mean, I'm in the Slack, but I'm not, like, behind the scenes on all the calls. I sit in maybe a half an hour meeting every week with the team and, kinda get brought up to speed a little bit, but they are very good at keeping a lid on things. I just can't imagine in the conditions of the market right now, coming out and minting 5,000 NFTs in 30 minutes for 0.22. That's 1.375 million. That's a lot, and it's locked up in a 6-month contract. So,
Are they doing
granted,
the same thing with the price guarantee?
so money's in, but they don't get to touch it for 6 months. So if
I
anybody
love that.
changes their mind, click a button, pulls the money back. I'm telling you, I talked to my buddy John, who's I got him a job editing for them, 9 months ago or something, and I was like, "What are the chances that, you watch these videos where they're saying like, everything's bad, it's crypto's a scam, this like all the FUD, right?" And they're 99% right.
Right.
But the 99% they're right is the bad actors that are built on the 1% that's true and real. And I'm like, what are the chances that we just landed on the dopest project to help them build with content, like basically 9 months ago, and we've just all the fear and all the doubt and uncertainty and all that stuff is built on the back of people being like, "Oh, wow, that's cool. Well, if these companies are doing and building something legitimate, like I can come in and just, I don't know, do a cash grab." And like a lot of companies build up little cash grab things and it's a bad look and they're part of that 99%. But I
Well,
guess
that's
as long
so
as you're on
cool.
that one, you're good.
I mean, that's like a perfect story for kind of like what the title is are NFTs a joke or the future of digital asset ownership and like yes, excuse me, that 1% of the bad actors they do give the space or they do bring some negative attention into the space. I don't want to say give it a bad name, but some negative attention. But we all have short attention spans here, and so within a few weeks that stuff goes away. But I think that there's probably some when you think about like that 6-month guarantee thing and the fact that they like it's not like Michael just went and got like a Lambo, right? Like
Right.
like that money is locked up, so like that gives people confidence, and I think like moving forward like that probably has to be the way that it goes in order to give that legitimacy to these projects. Say, listen, like I'm not going anywhere with your money, we're locking it up. If you're not happy within the next 6 months, as long as you didn't move it, sell, whatever, as long as that NFT is still in the same wallet that you minted on, we'll gladly give you your money back. I think that's incredible.
Yeah, I don't understand why it hasn't happened more. I'm grateful for those guys because to put it plain, like they've had money. You know what I mean? Like Anthony was a like
I
an
called him Michael,
insurance
but his
money
name is
guy.
Anthony. As
No,
soon
it's
as
okay. Hey, it made sense to me. It was just the arbitrary name guy bought a Lambo, and that's usually how it is. Like so I mean, it's either that or like Crypto Star 27 bought a Lambo. You know, like who knows what the name of the guy is that just got all the money because you minted his project.
Right.
But in this case, you've got a guy who was full-time career selling insurance. I mean, I love Anthony. I think he's a great dude.
Mhm.
That's got to be the most boring job ever, unless you absolutely love building teams and like doing the very methodical, like he's type A, wants to control all the little things, like him being able to be in that position in insurance for a long time. I'm sure he learned like a massive amount that just flat out doesn't exist in almost any NFT project
Yeah.
because what most founders bring to the table isn't that. Some of them do probably, but probably not many. And then
No,
you've got
most of the founders are probably 20-year-olds that have no business experience, at all. They've
they've been wanting a Lambo, bro. they've
those are
been
the
wanting a Lambo, so they're
wet
like,
moon, wet
"Minted.
Lambos.
Let's go Lambo."
That's a really interesting point that you bring up about that. It doesn't matter, I guess, what industry you're in, right? Like if there are the elements to what you do, and I'll say, get you off, more just like excite you, or that's what you really enjoy doing. So it doesn't matter if you're in the insurance industry or if you're mucking horse stalls. Like if it's the team building or the details of what you do that you really enjoy, like you really can do anything with it.
Yeah. So it's been cool, man. I mean, I appreciate those guys. The funny thing is, a lot of people, we have some friends, the founders of other projects that have reached out to me, especially recently, because of Bulls and Apes stuff. And I'm like, you never talked to me about Bulls and Apes. Now all of a sudden you care because they're like tokenizing and they're doing all this stuff for other communities. So people are reaching out to me, and they keep asking about the two other co-founders, Guy and Manny. And I'm like, guys, I basically haven't talked to them in 6 months because they minted out the project and then they basically went like this: we're successful millionaires, we've exited companies and built them, now we're going to put our heads down and we're going to look long term, like 10,000-foot view over the forest, and we're going to plan this out like military generals. And like I'm just out there like a sniper. Like they don't even have me on the front line. I don't even know what's happening. They're like, Chris, we need you over there. There's going to be a target. You got to kill it. I'm like, okay, that's my job. I just show up where I need to be and do my thing and dip. Meanwhile, people are asking me, what are the generals talking about? I'm like, I don't know. I haven't talked to them. And then they showed up and they just minted out 5,000 NFTs in 30 minutes. So I'm like, hey, listen, I don't think that they accidentally had a 8-figure exit with Helium 10, and like they're just successful dudes. So I love seeing them not need the money and do it in a different way. And I mean, it's cool to watch. So
it really is, and those guys have a totally different mindset than most of the founders that I have had a chance to talk to. Back when I was with MetaMoney, I did interview him. And we did talk about the project and how like it was like they were bringing a business to this ecosystem like no one else had done before. Like, yeah, people have built businesses, and even community members. You take your IP and you can go on and build a business from that. But I have not seen, and unless I'm wrong, and feel free, anybody, if you're listening, come on up and correct me. There is not a single collection that I know of that literally the main focus is to make it a business. Just like not a project, not a community, a business.
I don't know. Shoot, I can't entirely say that. I think a lot of what we see, like with you can't really tie it in directly like that, but you can see it in like labs and things of that nature, right? Like to where the project itself can't really be tied. The NFT project itself, I don't really think you can label as a business. You would have to establish an outside entity from the NFT in itself. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
By law, I think that you would have to do that.
True. Well, maybe that's just the way they set it up, and having that money back guarantee maybe helps them, kind of play it a different way. But it's like, yeah, like you said, usually the business aspect comes after, right? Because at this point, like, you can't promise a roadmap, you can't promise any kind of anything until after you sell it, because you can't sell with the kind of the idea that something will come along with it.
Thank you, Jay Chain. I'm so glad that you said that. People don't really think that I don't get that gist. I'm like, man, you really can't talk about utilities and stuff like that to that degree until you actually sell out your freaking project, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because there's no guarantee that you're actually going to sell out, and then you're promising investors, oh, we're going to have this utility, when that utility is directly correlated to the fact of you being able to have the funding to build out whatever it is that you're looking to build out. So that would be a presumption that, oh, we are going to sell out this project, when that's just not absolutely true. So if projects are offering utilities before their collection sells out, then in my eyes, then I would have to look at that as a possible security, because you're saying you're going to do something when you haven't, when the ability for you to do something is directly correlated with the funding that you receive from this mint in particular, right? But that happens with most projects. And I was working with a project, and I was trying to correlate and explain this to him. I said, listen, you guys might want to veer away from offering this as anything more than a collection until you actually sell it out. But they went ahead and they start dropping threads and things like that about utilities. And I'm like, okay, I'm just letting you know, like, by law, you're now classifying yourself as a security, my friend. So, it's unfortunate, because it's a great prize, amazing project. It's amazing artwork, amazing tech behind it. But that one vital mistake has just now classified you into this category of security. So if you're really serious about, what it is that you're doing and building out your brand, I would advise you to kind of do research and make sure you're seeking legal counseling if you do decide you want to offer utilities. Don't go just off the whim offering utilities and you didn't even spoke to a lawyer. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, no. So, like, what kind of things can you do? Can you offer, like, can you say things like, oh, we're gonna have discounted merch or exclusive, in real life events? I mean, you can say some kind of things in order to, help promote and market your brand that you're trying to build. It's just you can't say anything about getting any kind of money back in return, whether it's royalties or dividends or however you want to classify them. Is that correct?
I'm pretty sure the way that they're going to wind up assessing it is because they're talking digital collectibles now, and I think that's why you see a veering off from the NFT lane and more into the digital collectible lane, because it's going to start off as a collection, and then from the that's where I think the real classification is starting to come in, and why you hear people changing their tone, because once the classification has been labeled as a collection, then that'll allow us to actually mint through the collection, and then we can offer utilities. I'm telling you, in my mind, I'm just like, okay, if I offer a benefit for owning this particular product or service, I'm expecting something in return, right? So if I expect something in return, does that measure match up to the Howie? Whether you're looking at it from a financial gain or not, like, am I expecting something in return for this particular offering? Did they say that by me holding this, I'm going to receive something in return? Yes or no? If the answer is yes, it's probably going to be classified as a security, right? The answer is no, to where, like, Bored Ape Yacht Club, they were just a collection. And then once they established the collection, then they built out from there, right? And I think that a lot of people overlook that, and they get so wrapped up into the utilities that they're now offering, and they feel like, oh, okay, they haven't sought. I'm telling you, a lot of these projects have not sought legal advice. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You just have, it's just being honest.
Well, they're spinning it out, like you said. There are the money grabs out there. Now, there are some legitimate collections. Obviously, we all know that, but there are a lot of bullshit ones where, they just spin it up, get the money, and then that's it. We got to weed those out. Got a couple more people that popped up. We've I see Stash in the crowd. Good morning, sir. GM. And then we've got the Dark Horse Sports Club. What's going on, man? How are you?
What up, Jay James?
Chilling, dog. How are you?
Good. I was just it's basically you have to put up your project or business. I don't like to say NFT projects, because it just seems like a project is what you do in third grade when you take it home to your mom. You know what I mean? But a lot of these are businesses, at the end of the day, but you have to make sure that you can pass the Howie test. And that's really what the SEC is looking for. And if you're guaranteeing any sort of rate of return or what Bored Ape Yacht Club got involved with, and this is why Guttercat pulled their token, is they dropped these airdrop tokens based on the number of NFTs that you have. That is a very, very gray, close to the line dividend type of model. And of course, the SEC is going to go after the biggest and the baddest to make an example. And that's what they do to scare everybody else. And that's what happened with Guttercat. But if you guys just look up the Howey test, you'll, and then of course, I don't know who said it, but, we started our project and the first thing that we did was hire lawyers. That was like number one, right? Like number one, got to have lawyers. Mm-hmm. Hey, are we doing this right? Are we looking at this right? There was certain things that we wanted to do in our collection, which was to reward our collectors with our betting portfolio. So if you stake the NFT and you staked it long enough, we would share in the betting portfolio of our project. And the lawyers are like, "You're out of your mind. You can't do that." Absolutely not. So of course we scratched that. But yeah, just look up the Howey test, and you have to get some, no accident lawyers either. You got to pay a pretty penny for for somebody to really look at this stuff, because it is all it is all new, and you just don't want to be the one that is made example of.
I will never forget the Howey test and how all that sets up. Back in man, it had to have been 2018 or 2019 when Ben and I were doing the Beards of Bitcoin podcast. We interviewed Richard Hart, and this was like right around the time that Hex came out, and it was all like, that was the biggest thing. It was like, does this thing pass the Howey test? And I'm not trying to piss off any Hexicans, but like, and I asked him, just a simple question about like the Howey test, and how does it pass it? And he was such a fucking dickhead to me, and like, the arrogance that he has is one thing, and so I like, listen, I don't hold grudges. That's not who I am, but I despised that guy for several years, and then just recently, I think it was probably like September or whatever, he came out to the BitBoy studio when I was still there, and I had a chance to chat with him, and to be honest, like the guy's actually yeah, that's all a stick. It's all an act. What you see, that that persona is literally just an act. That is not who he is in real life. He was actually he seemed like he was nervous to pop up on Ben's live stream there in the studio. So
that's wild. That's a very interesting thought about, like, I know you've met a lot of different people on YouTube over the years. I've met a lot of different creators that are huge on different channels or whatever, but when you meet people in person that you only know from the internet, I'm usually like, I don't know, I'd say 9 out of 10 times I'm very underwhelmed when I, like, personality wise and energy wise, when I meet people, because it is like they understand that they can't make boring content, or they can't be like their public facing persona can't be flat. And then you meet them in person, and they're just being a human, and you're like, oh, you're just like a normal-ish person.
Yeah.
That has been the
everybody except for me, Jay Chains. I'm still the same way in person.
Listen, and that's one of the beauties of it. Like, and I surround myself with people that same kind of thing. That's the person that I am on camera, that I am in this space, the person that I am with my family, the person that I am at these crypto conferences. Now I have a little bit of fun, and sometimes we have a couple cocktails, and that's one thing. But the person that you meet is the same person that I am day in, day out. And I surround myself with people like that too. So like Chris is a genuine guy. AI, like you said, man, I got a chance to hang out with you in Miami. You were a straight up dude. Crusader, same thing. Like, you were just like awesome guy. Stash is like one of my best longest friends in crypto. Kenton, I've known you now for a while, and you're a straight up guy. Like, I think like this industry surrounds itself with people like that, and I think that's one of the greatest things about that, is we get the ability and the opportunity to spend our time with people that feel that same way. And it's an honor for me to be able to say, like, like, you guys are my friends in real life and here on the internet.
Because that's called authenticity.
Yeah.
When you're it's know, like, and trust, right? That's the thing. And if you meet somebody that is completely different than who you perceive they were, then it's like, okay, which person am I getting? And your brain starts to self-analyze and be like, okay, you know, and you get that little gut feeling, right? And usually your gut feeling is the correct feeling. Your brain is telling you, no, I want to do business with this person. Your gut's telling you something's not right here. And you just, you know, you have to have the ability to walk away and find somebody else to work with. Because I tell people all the time,
no, but my body is telling me yes.
Oh my God. For anybody who doesn't know, as he said all that heartfelt, you know, is speaking from his heart about authenticity, his face was a fucking pizza. Oh,
Yeah, if you are watching on the video, we got it up on YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Chris is he's got his battle helmet on that he woke up in this morning, and then I am a pepperoni pizza face that can talk.
oh man.
Oh, you can't have.
Are you guys on the same mic, you and Chris?
Yeah, so he's on the StreamYard link, and so yeah, his audio is just routed through mine. If he was up as a speaker, I would just mute him on here. So we've got this thing dialed in, man. We are so excited to be like,
you guys got it now, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
dude.
man.
Took a little time
It
to
takes
figure
a
it
while to figure out the matrix.
Absolutely, but we got this thing nailed in, man. We're locked in. Like, we cannot wait. I really hope that, you know, as you know, we develop this show and we develop our content, you know, my goal is to get as many people up here as possible. We can literally have, you know, like a conference style panel every single day of the week, and I think that is truly valuable, not only to me but to the community, right? Like, again, I'm a community member before anything, and I love learning. I love getting value add every single day, and that's why I do this. Like, I could be just like a typical YouTuber, and all I do is sit up on my pedestal and podium and talk to you guys. But I more so appreciate, you know, like people popping up on camera, people being able to participate in the conversation. That to me is more valuable than, you know, my words, because it's the group mindset. It's that group think. It's the ability to collaborate as a community and develop something that's way better. Like, you know, we can all be one-man wolf packs. I think we've all got that in us, but there is no substitute for how people can be as a team. And when you've got, you know, 5 bright minds, like, you know, that's why we built Win Media, and what we're doing with our company is that, you know, again, we can all be our own individual silos doing our thing and providing value in our own way. But if we come together as 5 amazing mindsets, it's unimaginable, like how many things we can accomplish as a group, all trying to push towards the same thing. So I appreciate everybody being here. This has been a fun conversation. You know, we got to talk about AI, got to talk about NFTs. If there's anything that anybody else wants to chat about, please feel free. You know, if you want to come up and say some stuff, now is your opportunity, because if not, I think we're going to start winding it down for the day, because it's you know, pizza day.
It's payday pump day. That's what I like to call Fridays. Hopefully we see some pumps in the market so you can get in, get out real quick. There's a couple percentages.
I do. I'll tell you what, man, it was nice to see yesterday. I am now a couple ETH of profit on my Mutant Ape. I am not selling though. Like, that is my badge. You know, there's a couple other ones that I do like, and maybe down the road, like I might switch to an M2. But I love this thing, man. But there is money to be made in this market. You guys just got to find the right opportunities. And again, I want to check this before we shut this thing down. I want to check this to make sure we're not, you know, our market says, look at this. Yesterday was at 30 when we started the show. Let me see. I'm gonna pull this up, Chris. We'll hit you with that news. Again, I use nftgo.io for a lot of my research and analytics for NFT. Share the screen. Sorry. And one of my favorite things about this website, and I literally will check this every day, it is the market sentiment barometer. And so again, yesterday it was at 30. This morning when we started the show, it was at 31. An hour later, it is at 32. 2 weeks ago, it was at 10. This thing it's moving. Has the bull market started? No, but again, the markets are heating up, and the weekend is just getting started. One thing that I want you guys all to make sure that you do this weekend is take care of your mental health, right? We spent a lot of time here on Spaces. We spent a lot of time in what I like to call our own little metaverse here. But don't forget to get outside, get a little fresh air, maybe put your feet in the grass. Take your shoes and your socks off, rub your feet in the grass, get that cool feeling. As long as it's nice out and it's not snowing, I would suggest that. And if it is snowing, maybe just go into your garage and breathe a little cool air. Just get up, Take care of yourself. And then make sure that you reset, recharge, do some fun stuff. I think Saturday we've got a big Twitter space for Darcy Donovan for Star Dogs, so don't miss that. We will be tweeting out links and all sorts of stuff over the next 24 hours leading up to that. But you guys have a great rest of your Friday, and we'll be back for some more Web3 Breakfast on Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern. Have yourself a great weekend. And thank you for being here. Thanks, Chris.
Bye.